That's what I am stressing on this point. Where is book? Where is book? Where is book? So kindly help me. This is my request.
Ambassador of goodwill. This picture is of Srila Prabhupada in his room in Radha Damodar, at the Radha Damodar temple, his small room there to the side of Radha Damodar, where he sat for many, many years, almost a decade, and wrote his Srimad Bhagavatam commentaries and began to conceive of fulfilling the order of his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to bring Krishna consciousness to America. And many stories from here, but meditating on Prabhupada here, that his heart is simply filled with compassion and determination for bringing this Krishna consciousness to the world, beginning with America, which of course we all know he did. And he came as ambassador of goodwill. He didn't come to make money. Most people, they come across the ocean or they fly here and there. Most people on the airplane today, they're going somewhere and they're making money. Most of the business people, I want to make money. But Prabhupada didn't come to make money. Prabhupada came to give. He came to give. He came to give the best thing, this Krishna consciousness, the holy names, and the understanding of how to go back home, back to Godhead. He came to give gifts, unlimited gifts, and he had them to give. So he came as an ambassador of goodwill. And that's what we are also supposed to do. We are also supposed to be ambassadors of goodwill. We're not going out to make money. We're not going out to do anything except for give compassion and show kindness to other living beings by being perfect examples of what a spiritual person, a spiritual man or woman is supposed to be like, is supposed to act like. So when we go out to perform Sankirtan, we should remember this, that we go out with no motive in our heart, no personal motive, only to extend the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to others. Next stole. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Next. He for whom no one is put into difficulty, and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. These, of course, are beautiful verses from the Bhagavad Gita in the 12th chapter. There are others that follow that, but I've included these two in this particular presentation as a meditation for how we should feel, how we should think when we go out to preach. That we're going out to give something important, and that each person we should treat as a friend, that we should see their soul, that they're a living entity, and we're trying to do good for them. And we shouldn't put anyone into difficulty. And we shouldn't also be disturbed as well when we go out, because there are many causes for disturbance. Actually, we should disturb ourselves, though, because this is required. Prabhupada could have stayed in Vrindavan, but he disturbed himself to follow the order of his spiritual master. So we should also disturb ourselves. It's not easy sometimes to get up and go out. But one devotee, Bhakta George, one of my favorite devotees I've ever met, who lives in the Bay Area and loves to go on book distribution, always has a big smile on his face. And he was telling me the other day that the hard part about going out on Sankirtan is just going out. But once you get there, he said that once I get out, then I'm happy. And I feel like I'm at home. Next. The goal. People will remember and tell others about the experience they had with me. Therefore, I must always do my best to leave each person I meet with a good impression. So there was a group of new devotees going out on book distribution from our temple at ISKCON Silicon Valley. That's ISV for short. We call our Sankirtan team Team ISV. And they were going out to one devotee named Adi Guru, very enthusiastic young man, and he's going every weekend now to the Santa Cruz area, which is an area where there's a lot of sort of modern California type people and preaching. And before he went out, I said, so what is the goal? And he said, to distribute books. I said, no, that's secondary goal. First goal is that you leave every person with a good impression. Whether they take a book, don't take a book, whether they live there or they're walking up and down the street, they have a shop there, whatever. Do your best to be an ambassador of goodwill and meet everybody with some gift, either a smile or a piece of prasadam or a book, and go out with that mood to leave every single person with a good feeling that you're a sadhu, that you're a person who's cultivating spiritual value. And this is your goal. So he wrote, after he went out, he wrote this very nice, we have what we call, and we'll talk about this later, the Good News Action Broadcast. GNAB, NAB. And the Good News Action Broadcast means as soon as you go out on Sankirtan, you'll see miracles will happen, wonderful things will happen. Bring those back with you and share them with everybody. We broadcast them we have a group for the Sankirtan group on the Yahoo groups. So when the devotees come back, they report their score, how many books distributed, how much prasadam they gave out. Not exactly how much prasadam, but that they did give out prasadam. And then they'll report anything that happened. So Adi Guru, when he came back, he reported on his Good News Action broadcast that we made good impression with many people. And then the shopkeepers, and he said even policemen were taking prasadam from me, and they were very happy, and some young children. And he said, and also we distributed 20 books. So this is the idea, that we go out with this mood, that we go out to meet people and make them feel like they've met somebody of substance, of quality, and that has love in their heart, that's out there to give them something. And even if somebody scorns you, we should tolerate, like Lord Nityananda. This is our sadhana. We go out and we practice this. Of course, there are times when we have to stand up we have to not lose our posture. And we have to stand up for our philosophy or for our devotees, for our spiritual master, and we stand firm. We don't lose our posture. But we do the best we can to leave everyone with a good feeling. I'll give you another story. When I was in Honolulu with my friend Satyadev, when we were going out every day to distribute books on Waikiki, there was a lot of honeymooners there. And one set of honeymooners, I'll never forget this, that I met them and I showed them a Bhagavad Gita and I explained it to them, and then I told them that we were accepting donations to cover the printing cost, and then they said, we really don't want the book because we're Christians. You never heard that before here in Dallas, right? And also they said, and we can't donate to this because we don't believe in this cause, in what you're doing exactly. We're a different faith. And I was in a great mood because I was with my friend Satyadev, and we've been hearing and chanting at the temple, and I shook the man's hand, and I looked him in the face, and I said, "That's okay. It was just an honor to meet you anyway. And I want to thank you for taking your valuable time." And I really meant it. And that newlywed couple walked away, and about a half hour later, I was standing talking to somebody else, and I saw them standing nearby. And when I finished, I went over, and I said, "Hi, how you doing?" And they said, "We changed our mind. We'd like to give a donation." And my heart melted. And I thought, this is what we're supposed to be doing out here. Really, this is how we should treat people. Everything matters. Every single thought, word, action that you take in public, people see it, people notice. So our approach is to go out as ambassadors of goodwill with this feeling in our heart. We're going to give to people. We're going to take care of their souls. And they'll feel that. They'll feel that. And that happened to me twice while I was at Waikiki. People came back because I started saying it to everybody after that. This is a picture of one devotee, very enthusiastic, from Washington, D.C., who is meeting this gentleman. And you can see that, meeting people and shaking their hand and meeting them on the street. Sometimes people, this is undignified, going out into public. But no, we're actually going out and preaching right where people live, door to door, shop to shop, where they shop on the street, where they're walking, and we meet people and we befriend them and shake hands and share with them what's in our heart and give them some prasadam, give them a book to read, and allow them to donate. If they'd like to help out and participate, they can donate. Next. Priorities. Be kind and respectful to everybody you meet. Don't concentrate on your personal scores or results. If you're thinking, I have to make a certain quota, I have to collect a certain amount to make a show, or something like that, some kind of false ego gets involved, then I may think, this person owes me. He should give. Why don't you give? And in that moment, you've alienated that person. So we should put that aside. Develop the habit of expressing sincere gratitude and thanks to people you meet, live with, or associate with. And get in this habit, because then, this is actually what association is all about gratitude. Dadati pratigranati guyam akyati prachiti punkte bhojayate chaiva shad vidham pratilakshanam. That we should share our gratitude with others. When you feel deep gratitude for some devotee, you go and give a gift. What else can you do? You just have to express yourself. Here's a gift. I appreciate what you're doing so much. Or here's some prasadam. Or you just want to talk to that person and express your gratitude somehow. Reveal your mind to that person. And you know what? That's what we do when we go on Sankirtan too. It's the same thing. It's not us and them. These are all spirit souls we're going to meet. So we do it here amongst ourselves. We find managers, they should catch people doing things right. Catch people doing so. Everyone should do that. Catch someone doing something right. And then go over and express your gratitude for it. And see how everything changes. That's the real management principle. It's out of gratitude and love. That's what holds our whole institution together. Prabhupada said this. He said, love and trust. Love and trust. That's what it's all about. Because we're all volunteers here. Nobody's paying our, salaries or something like that. So what do we have? Something much more valuable. Much more valuable. It's love and trust. So we cultivate that here. Cultivate it. It means go out of your way to show your gratitude to the devotees, to your god brothers, god sisters, to your elders, to the new people. Give them kripa, give them mercy when they're just walking in, as much as you can. Shower it on them. And then Sankirtan, it just means the exact same thing, but going out and meeting other people and sharing that same mood of gratitude with people. That here, I have something so wonderful, and you're part of our program. You're part of the spiritual world. Here, take this, please. And people feel that. That's what people feel. Whether they take, don't take, at the time, we're going out to meet people on that level. This is our movement. We want to see that everyone is happy. That is the Vedic vision. Sarve sukhino bhavantu. This is human life. Human life means parupakar. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, to do others something auspicious. That is human life. Srila Prabhupada in Denver, 1975. So that's our mood. Next. Engage everyone appropriately, and as completely as possible. We should go out armed to the teeth. Prasadam. Why not? You know, you can buy these prasadam machines. I just saw them. Ratna Bhushan was showing. You probably already have all this here, but I'll just say it anyway. Ratna Bhushan was showing me these machines they have in Los Angeles for making cookies. You have those here? Cookie machine. Big cookie machine. You just turn the thing on. Theirs is electric. They can make 10,000 cookies in one day. Of course, you have to have the ovens too, but this big thing, you just put the dough in the top, and it comes out the molds and cookies all day long. Take them, offer them to the Lord. Get some recipe that just knocks people's socks off. And then get a nice packaging machine, so you can package them up with the logo of the Kalachandjis or whatever logo, whatever identity you have here, and a way they can get in touch with you and find out who did this to them when they taste that prasadam. And you go out and you give out millions of pieces of prasadam. That's how devotees back in the 70s, they won over New York City. Right? What was it, Mark? Luglu. They were putting subways. Everyone had luglus. Policemen would come over and go, hey, what's the Hare Krishna thing? Give me one of those. Luglus. So. And in LaGuardia Airport, it was hard getting a permit there, but because every time we went to get to the permit office, we took 2 gigantic cheesecakes that were offered to Radha Govinda. They always kind of winked at us when they come by, the permit guy. All right, Hare Krishna, you guys are okay. If you want to know how to convert somebody to Krishna consciousness, just distribute prasadam. You go to the bank teller, one day, here's your cookie. You come back the next week, here's your cookie. Next week, here's your cookie. Pretty soon it goes, who are you? Well, here's who I am. Here's a book. You're in. Prasadam. So this is what we're about. It's giving out prasadam. Prasadam means mercy. Prasade sarva dukkanam hanirasya upajayate prasana chetaso yashu buddhi pariyapatishtate. You get prasad, you got everything. Because prasadam means all your misery goes away when you get prasadam. And your mind becomes clear and happy, and your intelligence becomes fixed. That's powerful stuff. So give prasadam. Now, especially to people you see regularly. If you're going to a place where you know there's people watching you, and there's always somebody watching you, give them prasadam. Every single time you see them, give them prasadam. Go in the shop, if you're working somewhere, if you're working anywhere, give people regularly prasadam. And after a while, everyone will become your friend. Next thing, offer kind words. Words go a long way. Harsh words, it says in the Bhagavatam, Krishna says in the Bhagavatam, that the hardest thing for anyone to tolerate are harsh, unkind words spoken by ignorant people. And the opposite is true also. Kind words spoken from someone with a genuinely soft heart are the most soothing and appreciated in the world. So we have our words. We can take those out and offer those to people when we go out. Offer kind words. Introduce all the books. Everyone, our goal to help people become Krishna conscious, we have to make a culture of showing people how to keep and respect these books in their homes. Even if they're not reading all of them immediately, it should be part of the culture. So, we started a program in Denver, and then we did Washington, D.C., and other places where during the Sunday feast, we'd have the speaker there, and then we'd have a whole set of books like this, and the whole lecture is about the books, about the set of books, and that you take the books home, and you put them in your house, and it's as if God has entered your house. Not as if, it's exactly, because this is the incarnation. In this Krishna Swadamo Pagate Dharma Ganadi Visaha Kalo Nashta Drishamesha Puranarko Danodita. The Lord's appeared in the Bhagavatam. He's come. And now, if he enters into the house, people are different. We want to present all the books. And so this should be part of the culture. When someone comes to Krishna consciousness, they need to know what's the next step, next step, next step. They have to have a roadmap, right? And so one of those steps is to have a full set of Prabhupada's books in their house. And it's not just the money. It's really, some people I've seen, to make that choice, that I'm going to take and maintain these books in the house. They really have to think about it sometimes, because it means accepting something and moving other things out of the way. So we should offer all the books to help people increase their Krishna consciousness. We presented, I was going to tell you, at the Sunday feast, it really worked well. We did it in Denver, and we said, you get the full set of books, the devotees will bring it to your house with a plate of Mahaprasadam. And 3 people came forward that night and bought sets. And that was for $350 each for a set of Bhagavatams. And then when I asked them afterwards, the thing they really liked was the plate of Mahaprasadam. And that the devotee was coming to their house. It's something personal. And it's not a commodity. We're in a service business. We want to present the full package on every level. And everything's tied together. When we go out to meet people on Sankirtan, then we, of course, bring them back here and hook them into the next step. And see how you live this and live it in your home. And one of those steps is to have a full set of Prabhupada's books. So after Denver, then we expanded and we said, okay, you get a full set of books tonight at the Sunday feast, full set of Bhagavatams. And you'll get a $50 discount. You'll get a free 1-year subscription to Back to Godhead magazine. And you will get an installation. What's an installation? We'll bring the books to your home and we'll install them in your house. And so we go to the house and we have a huge puja for the books, a big garland that goes around all the Bhagavatams. We offer a feast to the books. We have a kirtan to the books. And then we have a lecture, a short talk about what the books are. And then we pass around the first canto, and everyone in the group, and see they bring all their friends, everyone in the group reads one paragraph.
Tell them what Prabhupada told us when he first got the idea of meetings with us on the travel boat.
What did he say?
He said, the books are your deities.
The books are our deities.
You should offer your prasad to the books. You should do your arati to the books. That's what he said.
There it is. The books are our deities. Prabhupada said it. And so, 5 people came forward that night and they took sets. And then from those 5, there was 17 more from the installation because they brought their friends, and at the installation we offered them the same thing. And now, like in San Jose, when people come and they say, well, what's the next step? And so you have to have the installation, get the full set of books. That's when you're serious, you get the whole thing. Rompad Maharaj, he picked this up. He's been going around doing lots of sets. When he gives Sunday Feast lecture, then he presents the full books. And I was telling him, and I've told other sannyasis too, because they get invited a lot to people's homes, that when people ask you, will you come to my house to take prasadam, say yes, under one condition, because I have a certain standard. Oh sure, whatever it is. I only go to homes where there's a full set of Prabhupada's books. This is the kind of standard. Okay, introduce all the books. Teach the Maha Mantra. Take a little time to teach people the mantra. after we sell a book or don't sell a book, usually when we sell one, because people want to hang around a little for a few more minutes, but we'll say, do you believe in the power of prayer? And 99% of the people, because we're blessed to live here in America where people actually believe in God for the most part, they say, yes, I do. And then they say, well, let me teach you this ancient prayer. And we hand them a card with the Maha Mantra and say, please repeat after me. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. 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 Hare Hare. And then, people are happy. They've got something to take home. They got a book, a piece of prasadam. They learn how to do the mantra. And so many people, they say it so nicely. And what's nice is you're out there all day and you're teaching the mantra and you're hearing people say it all day long. You sit down the next morning in japa and you go, Hare Krishna. The names go bouncing off the corridors of your heart and mind because you're out there distributing it and making sure they got it in their pocket before they go home. Lord Nityananda comes out, you want to chant japa, okay, he'll open the door for you now. It's mercy. It comes down to us through this distribution process. So take time to teach people the mantra and everyone will be blessed. The whole universe gets blessed by the holy name. Avoid the envious. This is part of our process. People are envious. When you go to pick fruits in your mango grove, what kind of groves do you have here? Huh? Pecans. When you go to pick pecans in the pecan grove, which pecans do you pick first? Huh? Madhavendra? Oh, okay, The biggest and the ripest, the low-hanging fruits, they're going, pick me first, because they're hanging there. And when you grab them, they practically fall off in your hand, right? When they're ripe. So when something's ripe, it's ripe. And when it's not ripe, it's not ripe. So don't pick it. Leave it alone. Let it ripen. Give it a wink and a nod and leave it alone. Let it go. This is our process. This is an authorized process. We go out and we collect the fortunates. The people who are out there, they're ripe. And they're ready in some way to engage in Krishna consciousness. And the other people, we let them go. Here's the thing I do when I meet people who I say, I'm a born-again Christian. Because oftentimes, those type of people, if I push a little more than I engage, then it's, push back and forth. So what I say, when we were in Alachua, we met a lot of born-again Christians. It's in the Bible Belt, as is Dallas, I'm sure. And we'd meet people coming out of Hitchcock's, the grocery store there, and I'd show them a Bhagavad Gita, and I'd begin to explain it, and they'd say, I'm a born-again Christian. And I say, we need more people like you in the world, because it is people of faith like you that are keeping the world afloat. Thank you very much. And they're stunned. And they hand the book back and they walk away and, we're friends. And they don't call the manager of the store and say, get these people out of here. This is how we should treat people. When we meet somebody who's, in some position where they're not able to accept Krishna consciousness. Of course, then it depends also on, your inspiration. Of course, these are all sort of pat answers and things, and these are things that I've developed, through working on Sankirtan. But you'll have your own genius. Like Vijay, he was going door to door in Australia, and he met a guy who came to the door and said, buddy, I'm a Satanist. I'm not interested in your book. And Vijay said, well, don't be foolish. You should know your competition very well, shouldn't you? I said, you're right about that. How much is it? He bought the book. So it's not that, we have to simply avoid every single situation. There may be an opportunity to engage someone anyway, but the basic principle is there, to look for the people who are favorable. And the people who are envious, just leave them with a nice word and leave the atmosphere clean. No residue. Okay. Invite and follow up with favorable people. And this means to have some system to bring people in and engage them further when you meet nice people. Very important. So this is, of course, the verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Ishvare Taradineshu Balisheshu Dusachita. An intermediate, second-class devotee called Madhyamadikari offers his love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is a sincere friend to all the devotees of the Lord, shows mercy to ignorant people who are innocent, and disregards those who are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just to back up what I said with Shastra. Next. We're in the service business. It's not that we're selling a commodity and once it's sold we just walk away, but we're looking that this is the first step, how to cultivate people and bring them in. So our motto, actually, I say our motto, we adopted this motto in ISV, Always Better Service, and I saw it on the back of a truck on my way to Bhagavatam class one day, because there was this truck and they said, Always Better Service. I said, that's our motto too. Always better service. Because you can always this is the spiritual world. Impersonalists, they think the God is void and there's no God. And that to say that God is something specific is to limit him. But actually it's the opposite. The more specific, the more subtle and specific you become in understanding God, that he's a person, that he has certain ways to be served. The poetry of the Bhagavatam, it's very fine and choice. Uttama shloka. The Lord is glorified with selected prayers. The more specific we are, the more refined our service, the better it is. And just like if I come in this room and I sit down here at the microphone and I can only grunt and groan, how long are you going to hang around? I mean, from the very beginning, if I just came in here and I said, I mean, how much can you get from that? But if I come in and I have some vocabulary and, I'm gesticulating or whatever, then you're getting more. It's more interesting. It actually becomes infinite when it becomes more refined. So similarly, the spiritual world's like that. The more we refine our service, the more we're thinking how to make it better, then that can go on unlimitedly. This Raja Vidyam Raja Guyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyaksha Dharmyam Susukam Kartamavyayam. It's avyayam. It goes on forever, being refined and refined and refined. So this is wonderful. It's a great occupation. It's eternal. Always better service. Here's a couple of nice devotees. Look at this weekend warrior team out in front of the Hitchcock's grocery store in Alachua, Florida. People said it couldn't be done. Say, let's do Sankirtan in Alachua. There's no spots. There's nowhere to do Sankirtan in Alachua. There's no devotees to go out. We can't do Sankirtan here. But you know what? They're doing Sankirtan in Alachua. They're going out. They're getting spots. Right now, as we speak, Chaitanya Dasi's there in Alachua, and she's phoning up. Now, talking about always better service and how more refined to get. The more she starts calling places, the more she realizes the potential. There's the Winn-Dixies. There's the Publix. Now, we thought there was only one Hitchcock's, and Hitchcock's loves us. You know why? Because all the devotees shop there. They have a special aisle there just for the devotees. Anybody here from Alachua? I'm not from Alachua. But you've been there. You know Hitchcock. Yeah. They love us. And not only that, Brahmatirtha, kept Walmart away from Alachua. And they would have ruined these guys. So they love us. They say, sure, you can work outside our store. So we thought there was only one Hitchcock's. But guess what? One little, gander at the Yellow Pages, there's more Hitchcock's. And you don't know that until you go out and try to do Always Better Service, ABS. Always Better Service. You look, well, where's the more spots? Where can we do more of this? It's right there, and here's the proof. And look at him smile. You don't get a smile like that from anything else except for being on Sankirtan. Passing out cookies. See that little bowl there with the sign? It says cookies on it. They're giving out cookies. They have a nice book rack, and, they're in ecstasy. Okay. Next. Practice parallel service. Parallel service, the example is, man sitting in the restaurant, and the waiter walks by, and he says, excuse me, waiter, can you bring me a glass of water? No, it's even better than that. He says, can you tell me what time it is? And he says, sorry, that's not my station.
can't help you. You see what I'm saying? So parallel service means that all the devotees, they look around and they see what's going on, and they all try to work together, even if it's not your station and you're not your service. Think for the good of the community what you can do. Next is everything counts, even or especially little things. Follow up with people, make people feel special, treat people with respect, and be empathetic. Empathize with people. This is a classic way to deal with objections. It's feel, felt, found. Everyone say, feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. That's how I felt. But here's what I found. So any objection, you can really, empathize with people by using feel, felt, found. Use it in your personal relationships. You'll see how nice it is, because you're empathizing with people. But this is a mood to go out when we're preaching, we're going out to do book distribution, to empathize with people's problems, and then present a solution and to help them. So this means ambassador of goodwill. And is there anything else, or is that it? Haribol! There's my friend Satyadev, who never liked to distribute books. He's been around since 1970. He joined in Japan. He's the one on the right there with the hat, by the way. Out in the rain in San Francisco. It's raining, and he's out there with an umbrella under that's a goodwill thing, and he has a little table behind him, and he's out there selling Bhagavad Gitas because he's swept up in this Sankirtan festival. And this nice young man was a very happy recipient of Bhagavad Gita. Isn't it nice to see pictures of Sankirtan? Is there anything else? Haribo! Shri Shri Gaurnitai. Those are my deities in my house. And devotees, every week we have a program in our house. Keshava Bharti Maharaj comes and mercifully stays with us sometimes for a couple of weeks. And that's every week, every Friday we have a program. Devotees come over and they love to be together. They want to come together and just hear and chant. And chant Hare Krishna, and then share their realizations, and take prasadam, and go home happy. And this is all the mercy of Shri Shri Gaurnitai, and so this is why we're all here. It's to develop these loving relationships, and then to go out and give it to other people as ambassadors of goodwill. So I thought that would be a good way to start the seminar, is to talk about this, the always better service, and about the ambassador of goodwill and this idea. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.